All right, so tell me, how do you market this? I told you right at the beginning that this is, kind of the core of my podcast and business at the moment is marketing ideas. So tell me how you do that. What are you doing?
So it's evolving. I mean, you're reaching. We launched this at Gravity 3 weeks ago.
I noticed June 2000.
You are on the front edge, like the cutting edge of this. I mean, you're reading things, about our last product that are really pilot that allowed us to build all this technology to do this. So we're learning every day, but really it's just what we're saying, and people are resonating with our very simple vision that every renter should be an owner by default. This isn't an investment product. This is about home ownership with zero barriers of entry. And so that's how we're marketing it, because that's what it is. And as you mentioned before, people are saving up money and the barriers to home ownership are getting higher and higher. Millennials have $0 in net real estate wealth, $0. That's horrible, right? And the implications for society are going to be very profound. So we need to do something about that. And I believe that the way to do something about that is to help people own a piece of where they live. This is about community. This is about getting value from the place that you're giving value to. It's about fairness. And so that's what we're talking about. And then people can do their own math. Like if they want to use this to compete with home ownership, throw a couple $100 a month into it. And for the first few years, you're actually getting more value than home ownership because there's a J curve when you buy a home because of all the fees, right? And so our vision is that over time, we will create a product that is better than home ownership. One where you have the flexibilities, amenities, and freedom and no barriers of entry like you do with renting, but you get as much or more economic value than home ownership. That's where we're gonna take the product. Right now, we're just taking a step in the right direction. So as you know, owning a home correlates with public markets. After paying for all the transaction fees and closing costs that come with buying a home, you're really making 8 to 10% per year, right? ROI. And with rentership, you're getting a minimum of 5% just in cash distributions. So we're closing the gap right now.
So just a quick technical question. When somebody gives you their $500, what are they getting in return? Is it a security? Are they getting a share of an LLC, or what do they get actually in return?
It's not a security. It's an economic right. It's a rebate on rent, actually. It's a variable transferable rebate on rent. Really? And so only residents who live there can buy in at this time.
Is that right?
Because it's not a security. We're not creating an investment product. We're creating home ownership. And we're making it accessible in single dollar increments. And in order to do that, we had to make it easy to fit within the financial stack and business arrangement that owners have, right? And so it would be very difficult to create some kind of security. So we had to find a different way to approach this.
And so it functions like a rent rebate. But so that $500, is that
transferable?
Completely transferable as well. Mm-hmm. So did they get a certificate or something? No, seriously, like a stock certificate.
What's really interesting, we are developing a rentership certificate. That will be a digital experience that people have, but they are buying a unique thing. So if we create $100,000 $100,000 pool, we'll create 100,000 individual rentership units. And so when people buy, like let's say I'm a renter, I claim a $50 stake and then I buy it, I've got $500 worth of warranty. I have 500 rentership units, and each unit entitles me to a 5% of that value. So it's a flat return. So for every dollar, that's 5 cents a year, and a percent of the sale value of the property.
Now you're talking to millennials, right? This is your target market. I like to think of myself as a millennial. A late blooming millennial. It's an interesting proposition you have. At the highest level, it's really easy to understand. Own a piece of the apartment building that you live in. But when you get down into the weeds, it takes a bit more explaining, right? Even to me, I'm having a hard time.
Concept. People, like even home ownership is hard to understand. People don't understand oftentimes what a warrant is and what is equity and, things like capital stacks. They just understand value and principles. And so we're not marketing this as like, buy this complicated financial security. It's like own a stake in the building that you live in. The value of your stake is tied to the sale value of the property, and you get a 5% minimum return. You can sell it anytime you want to and get at least your money back.